Okay, so this whole process and all that comes with it is just getting started. So let's get started out of the gates here with SMU political expert Cal Jillson. Thanks so much for being with us today. There's a lot to talk about here.
There is.
So we are 6 weeks away from the election as of today. The president has called on the Senate to get this done by Election Day. Is there any precedent that you've been able to see here for replacing a Supreme Court justice that quickly?
Well, this is going to be very fast. And in the modern era, meaning the last 50 years or so, there have been a couple of justices who served on the court who went through very quickly. Their qualifications were well understood by both sides. It was a more peaceful time, but this will be very quick. The Republicans apparently have the votes. They will be able to do this. The Democrats will try to slow them down. It'll be messy, but at the end of the day, I think we'll have another Republican-appointed justice on the court.
What do you think the effect is going to be on the Senate here? Because there are several big Senate races going on this time around that could determine whether the Senate remains Republican or flips to Democrats. And we have some high-profile senators here like Lindsey Graham. We have John Cornyn here in Texas who made comments back when we were way back in 2016 when the Senate decided not to give a hearing to President Obama's pick for an open Supreme Court justice seat. Do you think that that's going to come back to bite some of these senators, the fact that they're on tape saying that they shouldn't do something like that in an election year? Or do you think that everyone is so polarized at this point that it's not even going to matter, it's sort of baked into the cake now?
Yeah, I think it's largely baked into the cake. I sometimes say that politics is about 50% hypocrisy and 50% naked self-interest. And so I think that's what we're seeing right now. The Republicans have the votes to make this happen and happen very quickly because they see a benefit in having an increasingly conservative Supreme Court. Now, we've had a majority of Republican-appointed justices on the Supreme Court since the Nixon years, and sometimes it's been 7-2 Republican-appointed, 6-3, 5-4, but it's been a conservative court for a long time, so it's not going to be that much different. And I don't think that most of these senators who are up for election this year will pay a big price. A couple might. Susan Collins in Maine. I think Mainers are getting tired of her sort of Hamlet act as a senator. Cory Gardner out in Colorado is in a very close race, likely to lose it. I think that McSally in Arizona is probably going to lose her race. So we're going to have a very evenly balanced Senate after these elections, maybe 51-49 Democrat, maybe the Republicans hold 50-50, be very close.
Do you think that this will energize one side more than the other? I've seen some polls in recent days. Supreme Court justices have long been known as a Republican issue as far as voters are concerned. They prioritize it very highly. I just saw a poll this week, though, that showed more Democrats caring about that issue. Is this likely to energize one side more than the other this time around?
No, I don't think it is, because we have already got a very energized electorate. Over the course of the last 50 years or so, if you, in terms of presidential election turnout, get to 60%, that's a high turnout election. The Kennedy election in 1960, Obama in 2008 got to that level. Most people think we're now going to get 65, 66, maybe even a little more. Very high turnout. So everybody's already energized, and I don't think that this Supreme Court opening is going to energize much further. There's not much room to go.
And you don't really think it's going to change any minds either one way or the other, do you? Or do you?
No, I don't think so. I think that Republicans believe that Trump should move quickly and the Republican Senate should confirm his nominee. Democrats have all the arguments that they need the other way, but nobody's listening to each other anymore. And so we're at deadlock. Mm-hmm. I think that this election cycle is going to improve the position of the Democrats, whether they have the presidency, a majority in the Senate, and expanded majority in the House remains to be seen, but that's entirely possible. And then we'll see what the Democrats have in mind.
Political expert from SMU, Cal Jillson. We always turn to you when we need to sort through these weighty issues, and I'm sure that we'll be back on this one because we've got an interesting 6 weeks about to unfold in front of us with regard to this. Thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you, Jason.